Well, first what happens is EFOS, or the DSP, the local DSP office, is the gateway for all people with an injury, illness or disability coming to our service and who want to use our service. So they first have to go there, and then they're referred to us. From there they'd start a profiling stage, which is gathering information on their employment history, on what kind of hours they want to work, where they want to work, what type of job they want to do. And then from there they would move on to interview prep and CV preparation, and both actively looking for a job. Then they're both their job coach and the client looking for a job.
Disability, when presented to us, of course, is something that we have to work with rather than working against. Working with means there may be certain jobs where there are constraints for one of our clients to be placed in certain jobs. So we have this job matching program, and I think that's an important term because it takes the uniqueness of the individual, their strengths, their constraints, and we look at employers that have jobs that could be matched up against them. So it's more about that than, we do believe in the capability of each individual, and I know we're going to be talking in a minute about why we're here today, but it's about looking beyond some of those disabilities to look what is the potential of our clients. There emerged a number of individuals who either had an idea that wasn't going anywhere or had unique skills that weren't being converted into something viable in terms of a job or a career. So we began a process of developing self-employment support activities, a new area for us. Out of that 8 or 9 or something like that, 4 or 5 or more now, because we've added to that original list, but the original group are here today. There clearly were 4 or 5 or 6 people who had what I would call either artistic or creative skills. How do you measure that? Well, sometimes it's measured by artwork produced, and that is the case with some of the clients. They've produced very, very high quality art. So here today we have a world-class violin maker, we have an art curator, we have a graduate of the Limerick School of Art and Design who's a fantastic printmaker, we have a greeting card designer, and so on. So we happened to have a conversation with Sarah Taher, who is the National Director for the Irish Association of Support Employment. We described our self-employment initiatives to her. We described the 5 or 6 that were creative. At that point, we weren't aware, or certainly I wasn't aware, that there was an international conference in Croke Park in June for the European Union of Support Employment. And she had said, just in conversation, would you like your team to design the delegate gift? So, of course, we tried to contain our excitement at that particular point in time. But then it has just really moved on from there. We have had to work hard, of course, with confidentiality issues around bringing our clients together in a unique space like the Bernard College.
It's the first time we've ever done.
Oh, yeah.
We would work individualized, we would work one-to-one always.
That's the dynamic, certainly, I think we're interested in. I think we understand because we got to go back, they are our clients, so we've been with them for quite a while. So they're not coming to us, they're coming to this process pretty new, but they certainly have been with us for quite some time. If you just, and that's why today is very exciting as we watch it evolve. When you put a world-class violin maker together with a graduate from the Limerick School of Art and Design, who I believe is a wonderful printmaker, what happens? Yeah. What happens wood and print? There's a poet in the group who also is an artist. Yeah. One interesting one, and I call that like layering of creativity. One person, creates another layer of ideas. Our poet, who is an artist, produced a poetry book. So on one side of the page is his art, and on the direct opposite side, facing it, is his words. Our printmaker, in his work, has merged both into his print. So by accident, they're actually in the same space, but creativity has brought them differently. So when he saw the other client's work hanging on a wall as a print, he saw poetry and art merged into the same medium from where he's coming from, which is art and poetry separated. I'm not saying one is better than the other, it just shows you. Now what's going to happen today when they talk to each other? So that's the piece I think we're all very, very interested in.
We would hope that, I mean, nothing but positive can come out of today with a group of creative people coming together. So in the future, to try and, I suppose, help people in choosing a self-employment route, that maybe creative arts is where they want to be and they just haven't done that yet, that maybe they could come up here and give it a chance and see if it's a route they want to take.
Yeah, I suppose, the artistic space is where our clients get to create something unique. They produce something themselves. That's kind of where maybe it's somewhat different from traditional jobs. There's a creating or creativity. That's kind of the same words, but that's what they're doing, and it's unique. It's theirs. Nobody else can duplicate it ever, except they run it through a scanner. Once they do it, it's theirs. It's absolutely unique to theirs. So I think that whole process by which people can produce something unique, and this one thing today, I think that I would certainly have an interest in, is that from knowing the clients and having worked with them a bit, the creativity, the source of creativity is I don't understand that yet, because some of the produced art is deeply embedded in emotions. It's not object based from the work we've seen. Someone's not painting. Nothing wrong with landscape painters or still life painters. There's a place for everybody in the art world, but for our group of people, it's embedded in emotion. And it's only when you talk to the client that you understand, okay, now I understand what you're trying to do.
On a day of days, I stood and gazed over the western sea. Startled and struck, frightened to look